These are things with no functionality.
Turn right.
Well, that's actually the code.
Went to Italy last year. I used the bidet every single time.
At the stop sign, turn right
Most
onto
useless thing
North
ever.
Telegraph Road.
Squirrels, all of them are shrink down in those. Fake fruit, such enduring self-care.
Fake fruit?
Oh,
We got this.
a bunch of pears. I hope you like pears.
You like them green, yellow, berries.
Evan, don't even think twice about the Toto. Just get it. It's a life changer. My wife was skeptical when I got it. Now we can't live without it.
Can I ask you this favor? Can you take a picture of what the hell is on the table there? It's on both tables, but that little thing there.
In 12 miles, take a slight right turn to merge onto M10 North toward I-696 West.
Whoever bought this or decorated this house.
Do you find that to be an odd decoration though? Like vases I get, you know.
Yes.
I can even.
There's no function with these.
I even get the dish that's shaped like a whale that has the pears in it, the decorative pears in it. But that?
I have no idea. There's no theme of that in this room, so yeah, I guess I would not understand that. Someone has a question for you though, real quick, Gator. Was the granny hot? Just fast up.
No, the granny was old. She was great. She was a sweet good woman. Really,
Not your time.
Really strong. She was a very nice woman.
All right, coming up next hour, some NFL draft stuff to chew on. We'll get to that today at 12:20. We do have to tell what happened on the golf course
Yes, we do.
yesterday. We'll do that at 12:05. 97.1 to 2.
Jamie and Stoney. Mornings.
Coming up Thursday at 7:25.
It's the 2 Grand Slam. Your chance to win $2,000.
And at 9:02, you can win some Wings tickets.
Jamie and Stoney. Morning 6 to 10.
1 in 3 retirees will return to work.
Seriously?
The stock market has increased over 350% the last 10 years.
Seriously?
More than half of Americans pass without a will.
Seriously?
Waiting 1 year to retire could add 9 years to retirement income.
Seriously?
If you didn't plan for it, you're not planning. From here forward, Edelman Financial Engines. Call 888-PLAN-RIC to get started.
Divorce is sometimes a reality for families, and children need their fathers more than ever to adapt to this new situation. Cordell & Cordell advocates for fathers to help level the playing field. We are a partner for fathers before, during, and after divorce, so they can focus on what's most important, being with their kids. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on.
What makes Fast Cash from the Michigan Lottery so very? The progressive jackpot that keeps building with every ticket sold all day long, from the moment you wake up. The jackpot's building, and while you're in the shower, it's still building. Even when you walk in to buy a ticket, it's still building until jackpot, a winner, right on the spot. The fun keeps building with Fast Cash, only from the Michigan Lottery. No limits is always the best bet.
Hear that sound? It's priceless. Because in every heartbeat, there's information that could change the way we think about heart health. Heartline is an app-based research study from Johnson & Johnson in collaboration with Apple, where you can share your heart information and earn rewards for completing study activities, building knowledge that could advance heart health for everyone, beat by beat by beat. If you're 65 or older and have an iPhone, you could be eligible to take part. Go to heartline.com/visit to learn more. The Heartline Study. Know your heart.
Attention Walmart shoppers. This is a Jackson Hewitt tax service announcement. Save time and money with Jackson Hewitt and Walmart. For a limited time, you can shop while a skilled Jackson Hewitt tax pro prepares your federal tax return for as little as $48, but no more than $149. Only at Jackson Hewitt and Walmart. Hurry, this offer won't last. Get your coupon code and terms at jacksonhewitt.com. Then stop by one of our Walmart locations by March 15th to get your taxes done while you shop for only $149 or less. That's Jackson Hewitt and Walmart. Jamie and Stoney are giving away a pair of Red Wings tickets for every home game. Listen each week to Jamie and Stoney for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see your Detroit Red Wings. For tickets to all Detroit Red Wings home games, go to DetroitRedWings.com.
WXYT FM and WSYT HD1 Detroit. Radio.com's voice station from the Planet Fitness Studio. Sports headlines all day, every day. This is
Let's open with the Pistons, who open up a short two-game homestand tonight as they square up against the Oklahoma City Thunder at Little Caesars Arena. No Derrick Rose for head coach Dwayne Casey and the Pistons this evening. He'll be sidelined for the next couple of weeks with a grade 2 sprain of his right ankle.
It's very disappointing, and more for Derrick than anything else, because the young man's been through so much with his body. And then finally kind of getting his sea legs and having a good season, and then this happens.
Catch the game right here on the ticket. Two of the best in the business, Mark Champion and Rick Mahorn, will have the call starting at 6:35. Veteran right-hander Ivan Nova will make his third start of the spring this afternoon for the Tigers as they battle the Boston Red Sox in Florida. First pitch is at 1:05. According to a story from ESPN's Kevin Seifert, the NFL reportedly is set to undergo a shakeup of the leadership structure for its on-the-field officials in time for the upcoming 2020 season. Now, reportedly, the league is quietly pursuing Dean Blandino, who you'll remember left the NFL to join Fox after the 2017 season to return as the head of NFL officiating, replacing the embattled and, quite frankly, in way over his head, Al Riveron. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
From Tigers spring training camp in Lakeland, Florida, Karsh and Anderson on Tigers Radio, 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, so, Tony, before you get out of there, I love highly critical, throw-in opinion in the middle of the update, Tony Ortiz. Not a fan of Al Riveron, huh?
No, his explanations for some of the calls that were made this past season were bizarre, and quite frankly, I thought they were comedy acts. I really did. I thought he was trying to be funny, and it's like, how can you possibly explain this the way you're explaining this and keep a straight face? So, if Dean Blandino comes back to run NFL officiating, I think NFL officials improve by about 1,000% over Al Riveron.
Okay, all right. I didn't realize you had such a hostile opinion towards Al Riveron.
Not a hostile opinion, just a guy who just seems to be in over his head. That's all.
I know you said, quite frankly, way in over his head. I don't know that. I think that's kind of definition hostility.
Yeah, okay, that might have been a little hostile. I should have said in over his head instead of in way over his head. I might have embellished just a little bit there.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Have a good day, guys.
Tony Ortiz from the Update Desk. Tigers on the road today playing in Fort Myers against the Red Sox. I'm just looking at this home run that Cody Clemens hit. Opposite field shot yesterday against the Twins. One of a two-hit explosion from the Tigers offense. I don't know what to make of Cody Clemens. Is Cody Clemens the guy that you think will ever be? Do you think he'll ever be a big leaguer?
That's a great question.
Let's call it what it is. We care because we think a lot of these guys are going to be big leaguers. Is Cody Clemens going to be a big leaguer?
So he's like 24.
Yeah, he played at college. He had some clutch home runs at Texas.
He's got some power. He's going to have to show that he can hit better than what he's done.
Yeah.
I think he's been a below 240 hitter. But he's a guy, he seems to hit a lot of home runs and doubles. So he's got that power. I imagine he's going to start at Erie. Maybe a chance at Toledo, but I don't know. He doesn't seem like a fast riser. Just seems like he was a guy who was a tremendous college player, but I hope he's better.
You know what's funny is we always talk about there's no such thing as a perfect team, right?
Right.
And even good teams have perceived holes in the lineup, if you will. So a guy like a Cody Clemens, a guy like a Travis Demeritte, a guy that is young, we've known about, and they were a draftable guy, or a guy that they traded for. They could play useful roles on really good teams if they do something exceptionally well. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say the Tigers have hit with Daz Cameron, hit with Riley Green, that these guys are actually going to pan out and be worthwhile. And, they draft Spencer Torkelson, and he is an elite hitter. And all of a sudden, they start putting a potent lineup out there. You know who could be you could afford to have is a Derek Hill, an all-glove little hit center fielder, right?
Yep.
So you can have guys like a Cody Clemens or a Derek Hill or a guy that you don't think of anymore as a prospect, or maybe never did, but could play a functional role on a really good team. Now, the hard part is actually putting together the really good team. That's really
that is not easy to do.
So anyway, Tigers back home tomorrow, and we'll be there for the Casey Mize start from Joker Marchant Stadium. Meanwhile, all right, so we're down here and had a chance to golf yesterday. We were golfing with some of the folks from Jack Demerford, and couple, Chris and Diane, or as we started to call her, Di. She was hitting her second shot on a par 4. Now, we kind of lost track of where they were and pulled past them, so we were, I don't know what, 70 yards down the fairway?
Yeah,
Where
somewhere
they were-
inside of 100, sure.
Yeah. And we kind of lined up. She was on way off the tee, she hit way right. And so we were on the left side of the fairway, about 70, 80 yards, whatever it is, down the fairway from her.
She would play a slice because she knew it was coming.
Almost every shot.
Yeah.
And so when she was, the way she was lining up from the right side of the fairway, she was aimed directly across the fairway at us. Okay? And I kind of looked at you and I said, you know what, maybe I should put my foot on the gas here.
You literally said, I've got my foot on the gas just in case.
Yep. Because she's lined up directly towards us.
The just in case was just in case the ball comes our way and we have to get out of the way so we don't get hit.
So we're in a golf cart, obviously, and I'm in the driver's seat. Gator's in the passenger seat. Diane is lined up directly at us. I mean, directly at us.
From roughly 75 yards away.
Yes. I put my foot on the gas. She takes a swing, and I see the flight of the ball start towards us. Every one of her shots started out straight.
Yeah.
And then they all just sliced.
But you didn't put the foot down on the gas. You just had your foot on the gas pedal in case you had to. You chose not to hit the gas.
I lost flight of the ball. Now, the mistake, in retrospect, I made was that we were pointed back towards the center of the fairway, which if she had played her slice, we would be driving into the center of the fairway towards her typical flight path, right?
Right.
If we were pointed the other direction, we'd be going away from her typical flight path.
Yeah.
So when I lost sight of the ball, I thought, well, I don't know if I should hit the gas because if we pull out, I might be driving right into the shot. I have no idea.
We don't know why you didn't hit the gas. In hindsight, you can come up with a reason, but you didn't. And really, what we both did, at least what I did, I know, is I lost sight of the ball as well. I knew it was coming towards us, and I put my hand over the side of my head and turned my head to the side to kind of face you.
I turned as well to kind of put my back towards you in the passenger seat. And it was somewhere in there where I was like, well, this really wasn't all that smart. Because we didn't know where it was going. But this happens on the golf course, and it's like baseball spring training when there's guys running sprints in the outfield while batting practice is going on.
Yeah.
You're not going to get hit.
Right. Except this isn't a cautionary tale of, hey, look what almost happened. This happened. The ball in flight hit the golf cart. I think it hit the top of the cart.
It hit the roof.
Hit the roof of the cart.
It sounded like a shotgun.
It was loud as hell, and then ricocheted into the adjacent sand trap, which she wasn't happy about.
No.
But listen,
it
lady,
was
if it didn't hit the cart, it was going to
It was going to there anyway. Yeah, it was a series of bad choices, mostly by me. But her shot hit directly on top of our golf cart, and at the very least, scared the living crap out of us.
Mm-hmm.
We deserved it. Probably me more than you, because I was the one behind the wheel.
You were driving.
Yeah. But then, there was two things that happened. We stopped calling her Diane, we started calling her Di, because we figured she wanted us to die.
Yeah.
And she started hitting the ball straight.
Yeah, she did.
All of a sudden, that was like her first straight shot of the day. And then she proceeded to hit the ball straight the rest of the
First
day.
of many, yeah.
Yeah, and then she'd tell us, hey, could you go park the cart up next to the green, stuff like that. But yes, we survived it. But it is loud. And if you've ever been, like people, when they get hit by golf balls can, in flight, do damage.
Yeah, they do.
I did check the top of the car at one point.
To see there was a dent?
Yeah, there was not.
There would not be.
No, there wasn't. I mean, that hard plastic shell.
It's not, I don't think it's dentable.
That might, I don't know if it's that, but it did not dent. So we survived it. A little bit of a lesson learned, and a moral to the story for all of you out there.
Stay behind the person hitting the golf ball.
Even if every shot all day has been a slice, you just never know.
Yeah.
Okay, this morning, a quote Gator might be drinking beer out of a shoe. We'll get to that at 12:20. Got Carson Anderson from Florida on 97 the ticket.
This is your daily Tigers spring training update, brought to you by Northville Lumber. Here's Jeff Krieger.
Pitching prospect Tariq Skubal is off to a great start in the spring. In his last 2 outings, he's pitched 4 innings of scoreless, hitless baseball. He struck out 8. He's only walked 1. He also hit 98 on his fastball. This Tigers spring training update brought to you by Northville Lumber, the official lumber yard of the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
Why would anyone want to deal with the staining and splinters of a wood deck? If you want a beautiful, ultra-low maintenance deck, Northville Lumber has the solution. Northville Lumber, Michigan's Trex decking leader, is the place to learn about, plan, and buy Trex decking. Northville Lumber has the newest Trex products at prices lower than ever before. For the first time ever, Trex could be cheaper than cedar. Call or stop by Northville Lumber today and see the new Trex decking that beats wood, hands down.
If you're looking to lower your mortgage payment, shorten your term, or consolidate some credit card debt, call the company with over 1,000 5-star reviews. That's Hall Financial. 248-308-5000 or chat with us online at davidhallmortgage.com.
What's on your list this week at Meijer? Save on the things you need and more with great deals and low prices. Like red seedless grapes, 99 cents per pound. 80% lean ground beef, ground fresh in-store daily, just $1.99 per pound. Gain liquid laundry detergent is only $3.99 with Emirates. Plus, get 30% off select apparel for the family. Save big on the essentials now through Saturday at Meijer. Why pay more? Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Excuse me, Captain. This is your wake-up call from the new TracFone Wireless. What if you had to fly this plane while sitting back in the cabin? I wouldn't have any control. Well, that's what it's like going with some wireless companies. But TracFone Wireless gives you control. Get unlimited talk and text on America's best 4G LTE network starting at $20 a month, no contract. Plus, unlimited carryover data with active service. That's cool. This is your wake-up call, people. The new TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we'll give you this barbershop quartet who'll sing the name of the perfect hire.
Vince Lundy. Vince Lundy. Vince Lundy. Vince Lundy.
Okay, there's no quartet. But skills tests, that's a for sure. See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promote today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
Let your voice be heard. Call the D Las Vegas 97 Woman Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. In your car, or at work. Detroit's sports station.
Yes, sir. I think I've discovered, and look, I'm not a soccer fan, so this is new to me. I'm sure soccer fans have figured this out for a long time. Like, yeah, duh.
Okay.
One of the great names in sports.
All right.
Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp.
What a great name.
That is a great name.
Stay in the right
You like that name, Jurgen Klopp?
Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, so you know what friends call him, or people call him the Klopper.
Yeah.
Kloppinator.
What would his hockey nickname be?
Klops.
Klops? Bergs?
Beards.
Bergs or Klops? Bergie?
Klops is fun.
Bergie?
They're fun as hell.
Kloppy?
Klopsy.
But yeah, Jurgen Klopp is an outstanding name. Yeah, you can do, it's too late now. But the name is Jurgen Klopp. Name of the sport. Your name is job. Because, well, let me put it this way.
Systems analyst with IGF. Don't ask what IGF is.
What the hell is IGF?
It's a thermonuclear regulated crap.
Yeah, okay. Did you see the John Buccigross, what he just tweeted out from ESPN?
I did not.
Roger Clemens' son Cody having a good BP sesh, good gap power. He was a 3rd-round pick. This is down at JetBlue Park in Fort Myers, where the Red Sox play. So putting on a show.
Batting practice.
Oh, yeah.
Sound of the bat.
Sound of the bat. Sounds different.
The flight of the ball.
Sounds different coming off his bat.
Best shape of his
Just
life.
sounds better. All right, so this morning, there was, we were watching ESPN Get Up, and some draft discussion came up. And look, all this draft talk is intriguing. It's evolving day by day, like literally day in, day out. You've got teams evaluating players, talking to agents, et cetera, et cetera. Ron Rivera on ESPN Radio, the head coach of the Redskins, referred to Dwayne Haskins as, quote, pretty good. Called him pretty good.
Yeah.
But then said for the draft, we're looking at every player. Now, the Redskins are scheduled to have Tua come in. Jeff Saturday, who played in the NFL for a bunch of years, offensive lineman, after he heard the quote that Dwayne Haskins was pretty good, said, you know right now you're not his guy if you're a player. Now, this is Saturday's opinion. There's nothing that would Rivera could be just pre-draft misinformation, trying to create a market for Tua so they can trade out of the pick. But Jeff Darlington, ESPN reporter on the same set, said Rivera does want to see if Tua is healthy, that he is legitimately interested in Tua if he's healthy. So we start talking about the Redskins actually drafting Tua Tagovailoa, which is intriguing for a variety of reasons, not the least of which, of course, is the fact that you have made a shoot-the-boot guarantee that the Redskins will not draft Tua. And the irony is, it feels like since you've made that, there's more and more indications they actually might do it. But the bottom line here is this is potentially in play, and here's something that we haven't even discussed, okay? Saturday said if they draft Tua, now they've gone back-to-back first-round quarterbacks, and you're not going to need them both. You're going to clearly, you're doing that because you believe in Tua more than Dwayne Haskins. But his theory is you would have to trade Haskins immediately, because if Tua beat him out, then you weren't going to get, for those out there that have wanted another quarterback to come in, one we haven't even talked about, for obvious reasons, is Dwayne Haskins. But if they draft Tua, then the Lions gladly take Chase Young. What does it take to get Dwayne Haskins, and would you want Dwayne Haskins in Detroit? Dwayne Haskins is one of my favorite college quarterbacks going into the NFL, a guy that I have believed in the last several years. And for a good portion of his rookie season, I looked really stupid because he looked terrible. He came on late in the year. That doesn't mean he's going to be able to run the system that Rivera wants to run, right? That all is brought into question. But, I mean, when they traded him, when Josh Rosen got traded after Kyler Murray got selected, didn't they trade him for a second-round pick? It was a second-round pick, right? Josh Rosen? So your first-round quarterback a year later became a second-round quarterback. Would it make sense for the Lions? Would you have any interest in Dwayne Haskins?
For a second-round pick?
Yeah.
If the Lions got another second-round pick, I would. But this isn't happening, Doug. This is just ridiculous.
Okay, I realize that you don't even want to talk about it
now. Did you guys see what the Redskins tweeted yesterday?
Yeah, I didn't quite understand it.
They tweeted them, talk, and then it's a video of Dwayne Haskins throwing in their practice facility. I think it's them going after the people saying that they don't want Haskins.
I mean, okay, that's one conclusion you could draw.
They want Haskins. They're not moving on from Haskins. What was Saturday's quote again?
But this is from the Redskins, like, official.
I know. I'm asking Doug, Jeff Saturday, who never played for Ron Rivera to my knowledge.
You know right now you're not his guy.
Because he said what?
Because he said Dwayne Haskins was pretty good, but they're looking at every player.
Okay.
Oh, we got the sound. Actually, we do have the sound. Yeah, all right, great. Let's play the sound. said basically the opposite of that.
Yeah, you know you're not his guy right now. Like he's saying that whether it's Tua or whether it's down the road, you feel like he's trying to move on without you. That's not the vote of confidence you're looking for from Ron Rivera in his first year there.
It's Rivera, not Rivera.
Right. Okay, don't dismiss it because he's saying something you don't like.
I just there are different ways to interpret when somebody says he's pretty
You're right.
good.
You're
It's
absolutely right.
It's like, hey, he's pretty good. We're going to look at everybody else, or he's just say he's pretty good. Of course, we're going to look at everybody in the draft. I mean, it's just a statement. It doesn't really mean anything other than take it for what it is. If you're the Redskins, you are absolutely going to let everybody know that everything is on the table. You're looking at every play because you never know what kind of trade offer is going to come your way. If you make it known that, yeah, we're interested in Tua, okay, well, then that means that we're going to have to convince them that they don't need Tua, and we're going to have to give them a hell of an offer to get there. Look, they could say the same thing about Chase Young, because Chase Young has a ton of value. The three guys that have the most value in the draft are the two quarterbacks, Burrow, Tagovailoa, and the defensive end, Chase Young. I would imagine you'd get crazy offers to move up to number 2 to take Chase Young.
You might. I mean, here's the other thing that we have to keep in the back of our minds. And look, everything you've said is true. He could be pretty good, might be his endorsement. Might just be, yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty good. You could say that and mean it and like the guy. But you could also be saying, look, Dwayne, here's the deal. You're going to hear a lot of stuff. You're our guy. Don't pay any attention to it. We're trying to drive up a market. What we'd really like to do is trade out of number 2. So we're going to create a market for Tua. We're going to have him in for a visit. We're committed to you. But because we did the same thing with Stafford. If they wanted to move to Matthew Stafford, then Quinn would have to, or they want to keep Stafford. There's nothing wrong with Quinn going to Matthew Stafford and saying, hey, look, we're going to create this market for Tua. And we're going to have him in for a visit. You're going to hear all this talk about us and Tua. You're our guy. We're just trying to trade out of this guy.
If I'm the Redskins, I'm spreading the rumor that the Lions are the ones that really want Tua. And then I call Miami and I say, look, Detroit's taking him at 3. You want to get ahead of Detroit? Come here and talk to us at 2. And by the way, it's going to cost you a lot to get him.
I guess.
Because we would have to give up on Chase Young to do it. So you're really going to have to make it worth our while. But I'm just saying, if you don't deal with us, you're going to lose out on your guy against Detroit's guys.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Miami say, well, we're here and Detroit's not taking them. Like, I mean, Washington can speak on their own behalf. They can't speak on Detroit's behalf. They can try to create a market that Detroit, but they can really, really give out misinformation that they want to.
And
like, that's the sure way to do it.
And I think there's been plenty of misinformation already put out there by all teams.
Of course. You're just not buying. King, I want to get your opinion since you're not obviously incredibly biased against this report.
No, I mean, listen, there's a bunch of different ways teams are going about this to drive up the value of their pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not other teams believe them is the question. Now, the Lions have gone out and said, listen, we're not trading Matt Stafford. 100% false. Whether you believe him or not, that's up to you. Could they still draft Tua? Absolutely. The Redskins are going about it a little different. They have a new coach. So he says, yeah, we like Dwayne Haskins, but we're looking at all options. Those are two different ways that teams with very similar spots are possibly driving up the value of their pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really changes anything because you have all these other teams behind them, behind the Dolphins as well. You include the Dolphins, you have the Chargers, you have the Panthers, maybe the Raiders get involved. They all know it's either number 2 or number 3, right? So I think everyone's just playing the game right now. The Redskins putting out that video of Dwayne Haskins and basically backing their guy from the official team website. Yeah, that's a nice thing to support your quarterback. In the end, they could definitely still draft Tua. You know what I mean? This is why I love this time of year, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is you don't know who's telling the truth or not. This is draft day scenario. This is all right. Do we play the game of chicken? Who's willing to go up? How much are they willing to go up for? Gator, you're right. To Chase Young. Listen, if we give up on Chase Young, you're gonna have to give us a ton.
Give us a 3-year
and
first-round
it's
pick.
not even just selling the Lions would take him. It's selling that, dude. The Chargers are talking to the Lions right now. You know what I mean? It's whoever. So
you want him? Take him.
Listen, do I think the Redskins are going to take Tua? I don't. Okay. Do I think there's a better than 1% chance? Because you think there's a 0% chance?
0.
Yes, I think it's better than 1%. But they got to play the game. You know what I mean? And in the end, you would be shocked if they took Tua. I would not be. but this is the game we're in.
I will say this. There's a greater chance of the Redskins taking Tua than Riley Green making the Tigers this year.
So, the Brian, I'm not going to just, I don't care, but you have 0.0 for Riley Green.
Yeah.
So, what is it for the Redskins taking Tua?
0.9.
Okay, so basically 1%.
No, it's less than 1%. I specifically put it at less than 1%.
248-539-9797 open lines, ticket text. Plus, Tom McShay added something to the conversation. We'll get to that at 12:35. Here on 97.1 The Ticket.
This March, happiness is a Honey Baked gift card. So come on down and spring into Honey Baked at MGM Grand Detroit. Get a piece of the Honey Baked action playing all your favorite slots March 1st through 10th. Earn just 2,000 M Life Rewards points and receive your very own $50 Honey Baked gift card. How sweet it is to spring into Honey Baked. Exclusively at MGM Grand Detroit. While supplies last, visit the M Life Rewards desk for all the exciting details. You must be 21 or older to play. Grand times ahead.
The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navien, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navient's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navient contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com. You're nervous. I get it. The Way Back is the first great movie of the year.
Truth is, they got more talent than we do.
Ben Affleck will move you.
If they haven't been through what we've been through, they don't know what it's like to get knocked down, to have to get back up again.
It's the ultimate comeback story.
They don't know what it is to fight.
You'll leave the theater inspired. The Way Back, rated R, under 17, not permitted without a parent. Only in theaters Friday.
Are you tired of paying high fees and commissions even when you lose your money? How'd you like to never lose your money again due to market risk? Join Joe Uplegger for the Save Money and Income radio show right here on The Ticket, Sunday mornings from 7 to 8.
Music Town Detroit is located on the second floor of Hockeytown Cafe in downtown Detroit. It has a state-of-the-art recording studio that's available to local musicians at no charge. And national artist performances every week. Get more info on Music Town Detroit at musictowndetroit.com.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Picaro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to ndphealth.com.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. You buy the LaFontaine Automotive Group, the family deal.
They would need to, because he's going to have no value when Tua takes his job, right? So if you're trying to get something back from the pick that you had the year before, now is the time. You can't expect him to play behind Tua and anybody else because he's got such a small sample size of playing as it is. You've devalued your player for the trade.
Jeff Saturday this morning on Get Up talking about the Ron Rivera quote on ESPN Radio. Said Dwayne Haskins was pretty good, but we were looking at every player in the draft. Jeff Saturday said then, you know right now you're not his guy. And then you heard him comment right there on got to move Dwayne Haskins right away if they draft Tua. And then maybe Dwayne Haskins was a guy that I really liked out of college as an NFL prospect. Maybe the Lions get in on him for what the Rosen package was. Rosen was a first-round pick one year. Josh Rosen, the first-round pick one year by the Arizona Cardinals. Then they draft Kyler Murray, and he gets traded for a second-round pick the next year. Gator, I mentioned that Tom McShay added something to the conversation.
Yeah.
We'll get to this before we get to your phone calls.
More lies?
Tom McShay of ESPN gives it just a 15% chance that Chase Young is on the board for the Lions at number 3. So that means, and he went on to say, he basically thinks Washington is in love with Chase Young, and he doesn't think, that they would take anybody other than Chase Young. And I don't think McShay's pulling that out of thin air. He speaks with such high degree of certainty that I believe that as of right now, it's probably true. But things can change, and maybe things are changing since Todd has talked to Washington. I do think that 15% is stunningly small, because I just think that there's, if you ask me what's going to happen with the pick at 2, right now, I think there's a really good chance that pick gets traded. And it doesn't get traded for Chase Young, it gets traded for Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I've said all along, I think the Redskins are going to trade out of that pick because there's just too much value in that second overall pick that for a team that needs to fill a lot of positions, they can rebuild big time. And Chase Young is an outstanding player, absolutely outstanding. But I'm thinking about the Lions trading out of 3. If I'm at 2, absolutely think about what you can get. You get a king's ransom. You've got the second best quarterback, arguably the best quarterback available in the draft at 2. Some people think they'd rather have Tua than Joe Burrow. Or you have Chase Young. You think every other team in the league wants him. Like, if you don't want Tua, you want Chase Young. Every team in the league wants Chase Young. So I think you get a king's ransom for that second overall pick if you're Washington. And if I'm the Skins, I'm absolutely thinking about it. You've got a defensive-minded coach who has pretty good defensive players on that team. A couple of pretty good defensive players on the team, specifically a couple guys on the defensive line. Now, you can say goodbye to one of those guys, replacing Chase Young, and you're fine. But if you want to maximize the value and turn things around rapidly, I think the better thing to do is to trade out of that pick and maybe end up, let's say you trade with Miami, you get 5 and 18 in a third-round pick or something like that, or maybe your first pick next year. Who knows what you get out of it? But you're going to get a lot for it.
There's a lot moving on here, a lot of moving parts here, I should say. Interesting to talk about. Let's get back to your phone calls. John is next here on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, John.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I just think, no way their Redskins are, going to pass on Chase Young. That'd be crazy for them to do it. And, the Lions are just going to sit there at 3, or the Dolphins are going to sit there at 5, knowing that they're going to get Tua. So we'll wind up with, what's his name, Derek Brown.
Well, do you think it's crazy to think that a team like the Chargers or Carolina wants to get Tua?
No, I also think there's an awful lot of free agent quarterbacks out there.
That there are. There's definitely that. And my biggest concern is that Tom Brady signs with the Dolphins, because then the Dolphins don't have to offer up anything in trade. And they're the team that has the most trade capital to offer. But I just think that there's going to be multiple teams that want Tua, and it's going to create a demand. The question is, does that team that wants Tua, will they trade to 3 or will they trade up to 2 to get him?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather see the Lions get Buda than Derek Brown, but that's probably who they're going to take.
Well, you can love Chase Young and love other people too. Like, honest to God, Chase Young's he'd be my number 1 choice, but there's a growing, in my mind, there's the gap between Chase Young and the next round of defensive players is narrower than it was 2 months ago. I mean, when the college football season ended, I was Chase Young or bust, and now I'm feeling pretty comfortable with, for the most part, the 3 guys we identified as being incredibly useful. And if you're the Redskins, I don't think it would be stupid to pass on Chase Young if you can get a great haul of draft picks. It's not to take
You have to get a great haul. If you don't,
look, if I'm the Redskins, I don't take Tua. I don't take Tua. But I also know that that if Ron Rivera, if Dwayne Haskins doesn't fit his system and is not what he wants, then he's not going to he'll be perfectly comfortable moving on. Well, it's just his clock has just started to tick.
He's also, Ron Rivera is not going to take a low ball offer for that second pick. So, you know, worst case scenario for him, they stay at 2 and take Chase Young.
Whereas Detroit might take a low ball offer. They don't want to, but they
right,
might.
but for Detroit, it would make more sense because if Chase Young goes second overall, and then the offers come in for the 3rd pick overall, and you know that you've got a player in mind, and you can get him at 5 as well as you get him at 3, you take any deal basically Miami offers you, unless a team like Carolina offers you a better deal.
I think Miami would probably only offer like a second rounder for that 3rd pick.
I don't know, because I think other teams will be offering more.
Hey, thank you for the phone call. 248-539-9797.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Listen, the difference between last year, how crazy the draft, let's just go back to last year, okay? We had the whole Josh Rosen thing. Kyler Murray gets selected over 1 overall, so they have to trade Rosen. Then all of a sudden, Daniel Jones is the next quarterback taken off the board instead of Dwayne Haskins. Before Daniel Jones got picked, Cleveland Farrell got picked by the Raiders ahead of Josh Allen. You don't know what teams fall in love with what player, and that's why the draft is so exciting for me, and I love it. This year, with the Dwayne Haskins and Tua thing, you don't know how in love with Ron Rivera is with Dwayne Haskins and what kind of medicals come back with Tua. If he falls in love with Tua and then he is a quote-unquote generational type player, right? You know what I'm saying, right? These people throw out these terms and they fall in love with these guys, then he's willing to move on. And like you said, Doug, his clock is just starting to tick. The difference, though, this year and last year is Chase Young. If you don't have that 100% belief in Tua and his medicals, the fallback is this guy, Chase Young, who should be, in most drafts, the #1 overall pick. That's not a bad fallback. And you can just go to that and say, you know what? We're not taking that chance. We don't necessarily even need a quarterback. We got Dwayne Haskins here who's just getting started, showed some promise at the end of the season. We'll take the best overall prospect in the draft, which is Chase Young, and we'll live with that. Let the Lions and everyone else deal with Tua. So I don't think the Redskins are taking Tua. But I just don't believe it's a 0% chance like you do, Gator, and that's why you have to shoot the pool.
If they take Tua and are shopping Dwayne Haskins for a 2nd-round pick, I would offer them immediately my 2021 2nd-round pick.
Last year, Josh Rosen got a 2nd-round pick in that draft and a future for a 5th-round pick, which is this year.
Yeah, I would offer a future 2nd-rounder, and they may not want it. They may want it right away, in which case that'd be fine. I think there's just too much talent to pass on this year's 2nd round to go get Dwayne Haskins, who I think of as the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford, and not for another couple years. And we watch Dwayne Haskins' learning curve go up, and he might not be happy right away because he wouldn't be a starter. But I think he would benefit from watching a seasoned veteran for at least 1 year. And I'm a Stafford guy. I like Dwayne Haskins a lot.
What did you make of that report earlier of Tom Brady signing with the Niners and the Niners trading Garoppolo to the Patriots?
I find it very interesting, and I don't know if we have the soundbite, because I think we played it earlier in the show. Tom Curran of NBC Sports in Boston, who said that San Francisco is really, really a player in the Tom Brady sweepstakes, and that this is real, and that might even be to the point. We do have it? Okay, here's what Tom Curran of NBC Sports in Boston had to say.
The Patriots sent Jimmy Garoppolo out there for such short collateral that could Belichick say, hey, why don't you just sign this guy when he comes available for 2 years? I'll take Jimmy back. He'll get